Now, moving on to our next expert, Professor Dr. Nambition. He will discuss about COVID-like illness, workup strategies and tools. Over to you, Nishant.
So come, let us jump onto the topic right away. As you already know that the COVID-like symptoms are found in most of the respiratory illness, and if you look at the WHO website, you will come to know that they have listed the most common, less common and the serious symptoms of COVID. You can also do a Google search to see what are the most common symptoms of corona. Here you can see that fever, dry cough and tiredness, these are the three symptoms. And if we want to directly do a repertorization from here, so you can copy it and then paste it into complete dynamics to see what are the symptoms that appear in the repertory. So now if we filter it to a more appropriate symptom of fever, and then go to the analysis tab to see the repertorization chart. So let us once again go back to the search result and then copy the second most common symptom and paste it into complete dynamics. So here you can choose most appropriate symptom in the cough chapter, dry, and add it into the analysis tab. Here you can see some more symptoms coming up in the analysis tab, and now let us copy the third most common symptom into complete dynamic search, and you can see that tiredness as a rubric doesn't come up in the result. So let us try tired in generalities, and you can see here tired is a rubric which has two cross references, lassitude and weariness. So let us choose this weariness as and add it into the analysis tab, and also choose lassitude and add it into the analysis. Now let us also try to search weakness as a alternative rubric for tiredness. So here we are trying to search it in the generalities chapter. Instead of choosing it from the whole of the repertory, let us choose it just from the chapter generalities. On the next page, let us select weakness and add it into the analysis tab to see all the three main common symptoms of corona infection. And here you can see lassitude, weakness and weariness. These are the three symptoms. If we switch off lassitude and weariness, you will see that arsenic is the remedy. Likewise, if we switch off weakness and keep lassitude in the analysis, then we will see that the remedy that comes up is phosphorus. And after that, if we switch off lassitude and weakness and keep weariness as the rubric in the analysis, you can see that the sulfur is the remedy. So as you already know that a medicine that is doing rounds in the media as a preventive medicine for this COVID-like illness is arsenicum album, and if you choose weakness as one of the symptoms of COVID, arsenic comes up in the repertorization table as number one remedy. So moving forward, let us also choose some clinical rubrics that can be found under epidemic. So here you can see that influenza is one of the COVID-like illness, and there are some remedies for influenza epidemic, and also there is a rubric influenza prophylactic. Let us choose both of them and see if in the analysis tab something comes up. So here you can see, if we choose these clinical rubrics, phosphorus is the number one remedy that comes up. But as far as influenza prophylactic is concerned, arsenicum album is the remedy given in the repertory, also nux vomica and other remedies. Now let us move on to some other moderate to severe symptoms of COVID-like illness. So let us search for constriction of chest. So here in the chest chapter you can see constriction, and let us add this in the analysis, and here it is added. Now let us move on to another symptom, that is, so another severe symptom of chest is pneumonia. So let us search for pneumonia. You don't have to write the whole word, just pneumonia and influenza. You can reach the important rubric, and if you look at this rubric you will see there is influenza in or after. So let us add this rubric to analysis. Here we have added this rubric, and you can see that phosphorus comes up as a first remedy. Now let us search if you have any symptom of epidemic in the chest chapter. So you can see that you have three rubric here: inflammation epidemic lungs, and inflammation of bronchial tubes. So let us add this to the analysis. Another symptom of emergency is coldness of extremities due to shock. So if we try to find it in generalities chapter, because it affects the body as a whole, you can see that you have a rubric here: coldness, shock in. So let us add this rubric to the analysis, and you can see that there is a remedy camphora. Let us now see who has recommended this remedy. So after double clicking you will see that Lepe has recommended this remedy in 1915. So this is a fantastic tool to see and cross verify as to from which book and author this remedy has come. So this tool is very handy, and you should use this tool very often to see and recheck it in the Materia Medica. Other common presentation of COVID and COVID-like illness is generalized body pain. So in generalities chapter you can find pain. So here in the pain you can find this, and you can select this and add this rubric into the analysis. So language should not become a barrier for you to repertorize in your own language, and for this you can use a tool, that is phonetic input tool, that you can find online, and also you can install it onto your computer and then use it for repertorizing in your own language. So here you can see that if we do a repertorization using Hindi language, and if you search for respiration katin, so you don't have a appropriate rubric for that. So you can also search for respiration mushkil, that is difficulty in respiration. So here you can find that you have used two different languages to reach to important rubric that you want to use in the case. Another important symptom, that is a loss of smell, can be searched using a single language, that is gandh come. So here you can see you have diminished smell, or you can have loss of wanting smell. So whichever you want to choose as per the case. So here let us choose loss of wanting smell. In the same way, you have another symptom, a common symptom in COVID, that is loss of taste. So for that, let us use a single language, that is Hindi. स्वाद में कमी, diminished taste and diminished smell. So this can also be used as per your case, because this is a very common symptom these days in COVID-like illness, in COVID and COVID-like illness. So here you can see, and you can add the rubric into the analysis. We cannot leave out fever in COVID-like illness, so let us search for fever and chills that are a common occurrence in almost all kind of respiratory illness. So here you can find fever and chill. So let us add this rubric to analysis. Let us add another common rubric, that is vomiting with pneumonia. So you can find that in stomach chapter, vomiting, pneumonia in, and we will add this into analysis. Let us first normalize this analysis as taught by Dr. Edward, and then we have to go to an important rubric that is encountered in pandemics and epidemics, that is the fear in people. So fear epidemic brings up these rubrics, and one of the important rubric to be considered is fear diseases of contagious infectious. So here you can see, after adding this rubric, phosphorus is the first remedy, arsenic being second, entimtard being third, and you can see followed by pulsatilla, and then the fifth remedy is bryonia. Here in this repertorization table, you can see that there are several similar rubrics that are adding up marks to push certain remedies to the front. So to do away with this erroneous calculation, you can use another important tool for balancing of symptoms. For balancing, we have to categorize these rubrics into their respective categories. So after adding rubrics to the analysis table, let us categorize these into specific symptoms. Now add a specific category like mind, and then you can categorize the symptoms of mind and put it into the mind category. Add another symptom, another category, nose, and put the symptoms and rubrics of nose into this category. Similarly, you can put a category named gastrointestinal tract, that is GIT, and add this rubric into GIT. After grouping them, the software will recalculate and balance the marks to show you the correct remedy. So you don't have to do it manually, which takes lot of time and effort. This is an advanced tool that is not to be found in other softwares. Now here finally, after balancing of symptoms, you can see that arsenic has come up as the first remedy, followed by ipecac and entimtard, and phosphorus has been pushed back to the fifth place. If you switch off this balancing symptom tool, then you will see that phosphorus has come back, and if you switch it on, you can see arsenic has come back as the first remedy. This is the beauty and power of this tool. Yet another advanced tool that we want to use is increasing the importance of rubric according to the case presentation. So here you can choose a rubric and then increase the importance of that rubric by choosing the number 4, 3, 2, 1 or 0. So here in this case, after increasing the rubric importance of weakness, dry cough and fever, you can see that arsenic is the remedy that has come up. Now there is a different view that we can see, that is different repertorial charts. Here you can see if small remedies were chosen amongst the repertorial result, you will see that natrum sulph is the remedy. Whereas if small rubrics were chosen, ipecac would have come as the remedy. And if Boning-Hassen's method was used, arsenic would have been the remedy. Or if simple counting of remedy gradation was used, phosphorus would have come as the remedy. Now to use another detailed and advanced analysis tool, let us double click or let us right click the rubric and choose show repertory structure. So when you go into this structure, you can see a tree view where all the related rubrics to this general fever heat rubric are shown here. So if you double click any of these tree components, you will further refine your search, and you can double click any of them and go and see the detailed relationship of that particular rubric in that particular chapter. So here coldness, lack of heat can be related to sora, reaction lack of, vitality decreased, warmth desires. So these are some important rubrics that you can choose from these tree view, which is a very advanced technique not found in other softwares, which gives you a very important analysis tool which is very powerful, and you can go into the details of the case and look at it from a very different perspective. So here in this example, let us see loss of smell. So loss of smell, if you go into the tree view, here you can see loss of smell wanting. So that can be related to nose polyp, or it can be because of acuteness of the smell or oversensitiveness of the smell. Here you can see that this nose rubric is related to several mind related rubrics, and you can either choose a new rubric from this table and replace your existing rubric when you start refining it, and you see that the odor, the smell that is wanting is because of some other reason. Once again, this advanced tool helps you in cross questioning your patients. For example, if you go and want to get the details of dry cough, and you go into the rubric and then you see the repertory structure, you can see here if the dry cough is hard, hollow, and it is expectoration is absent or scanty, or it is in the generalities chapter. So here you can double click hollow and see what are the related rubrics: deep sounding, general cough, or dry hollow cough. So these are some important techniques that you can use to reconfirm your symptom from the patient, or if you want to recheck whether the correct rubric has been chosen for repertorization. So here you can go into the rubric and you can see the remedies and verify the author who has recommended that remedy. For doing a visual analysis, you can change the look and do a visual analysis back and forth. So finally, after doing such quick repertorization, don't forget to save the case at appropriate place. So go to the case and then choose a name, and then when you click OK, the case is automatically saved in your database. Repertory and repertorization has come a long way, and you can use these advanced features in your mobile device too. Now your clinic is in your pocket. Now anywhere, open up the Complete Dynamic software and start typing the symptoms of your patient, in this case fever and cough, and it will bring up the rubrics in the repertory. After you find an appropriate rubric for your patient, you can then long press the remedy or rubric to bring up the menu. In this case, let us long press the medicine and go to Materia Medica Quick View. Here you can see the remedy relationship and the red line symptoms and the Borix Materia Medica. So here you can verify the medicine and its symptoms, is it matching to your patients or not, and then come back to the rubric again. To add the rubric to the analysis, long press the rubric and select it so that the rubric is added to the analysis, and here you can see it has been added to the analysis. Now you can also look at it with various views. Now to see the Materia Medica, you can choose Materia Medica and then the remedy name, and then you can also watch and read the different Materia Medicas and the symptoms of any remedies that you want to check. If you don't want to type, or if you make mistakes in typing, you can use the artificial intelligence provided in the Android phone to do the repertorization without typing. To choose the language of your speech, you can change the settings of your keyboard, and then you can press the mic on your keyboard to speak.
Shararat.
This tool and artificial intelligence is very important for people who have a tough time in finding difficult rubrics. Here, a very common rubric in the children's Shararat is used, mischief. So here you can reach the rubric with a great amount of ease. Let us now try this for a very common symptom of COVID and COVID-like illness.
Bukhar. Khasi.
As you can see that with such an ease, by speaking it in your own language, the appropriate COVID-like symptom has come up in the repertory. Now you can repertorize this case. So I don't think repertorization could have been easier than this.
Avsar.
So everybody is comfortable in repertorizing in his or her language. So here a very common symptom of SAD, depression, and several other difficult mind rubrics can be searched with very ease, and this tool of artificial intelligence has proved to be a boon to homeopathy and homeopaths. So I hope today you learned a lot of new techniques, new repertorization techniques, the tools that you can use to overcome your limitations to repertorize. And today we had this very important focus that we don't give you the remedy right away, that what is the remedy that you have to use for COVID-like illness or any other case for that matter, but we wanted to give you the strategies and the tools that you can use and arrive at the right simillimum, because every COVID patient has a different set of symptoms and you have to treat them accordingly. So I hope this webinar helped you, and thank you very much for attending this webinar, taking time out of your busy practice, busy schedule. So thank you very much. Be safe and be healthy.